What's up, guys? It's JeramieLu Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Sorry if you can't hear me too well. This is the only quiet place I could find, and it's not too quiet, but I'm still in Hawaii. It's our second to last day. We're leaving tomorrow, and I wanted to do a quick video for you guys. That way I have something in Hawaii, something amazing to remember this on, and a video for you guys, so I'm not forgetting about you. Before we get started with anything, if you could, please go ahead and give me a subscribe if you're new to the channel, and then give me a thumbs up if this video helps you on any possible way. Really helps the channel, really helps me, and I'm still on the road to 1K people that follow me, whatever it's called on YouTube. The weather right now is like 90 degrees, super humid, super hot. I feel like I'm super moist and sweaty, so I'm sorry if that happens. I don't think you guys will be able to tell on that. And I have my Olo clip on here that makes everything just super wide and super cool as I kind of come in there. So really awesome and neat. Today's video is a simple video because as I'm here, I'm actually going to be heading back to Reno for a week or so, and then I'm actually heading out for a Mexico wedding that I've been hired to shoot. And I actually talk a lot about this within my community on how do we charge when we're going and traveling and shooting somebody's wedding. There's a few tips that I have for you guys and a few things you need to think about in order to charge correctly and make the travel worth it. And I have a couple tips on what to do if you're not traveling enough and you want to use photography to travel. First and foremost, if you're traveling for a wedding or a couple wants to hire you to travel, whether you're traveling into them or you guys are all traveling together, they have to love your work. If they love your work, they're going to take you and they're going to take you wherever they get married because they trust your work already and they don't have that worry or what if. You are going to be battling a few things in order to make this work. You're going to be battling with the resort photographers, the resorts themselves, because they want to be able to have these couples come in and utilize the photographers that are with them already in order to make money, a little extra money on that. Resort photographers, obviously it's their world, so they want to be able to get the incoming brides that are coming in. So you have to showcase your work well enough to these people or have your brand well enough that they're going to pay for your travel in order to go and do wedding photography for them wherever they go, because it will be an extra expense on top of what you charge. So the first number one rule on wedding photography is always keep your rate the same. Keep the same rate that you've been charging your packages and all that. So if you have your $2,000 package, it's your $2,000 package. If you have a $3,500 package, it's all inclusive, that's what your package is. Travel and what your package is gonna be completely separate. So that's the first rule. Always have your rates and don't change your rates just because you're going to some other location. And what I mean is Reno has a different rate than LA, than Bali, than Mexico. Don't adjust your rates for that area. Don't contact a photographer in the area and say, hey, what are you guys charging for photography there? Your rate is your rate. So I start at $3,500, that's what I start at. Everything's still the same for me, but that's the rate that I start at. So that's rule number one. Do not change your rates. Your rate is your rate, and that's what it is. Rule number two, or step number two, is that you need to have your rate separate from your travel. Now we're going to talk about travel. So your travel rates, for me, is simple. They need to get me there. They need to get me transportation while I'm there. And then they need to get me a place to stay while I'm there shooting their event. So if I'm coming from Reno, and let's say I'm going to New York to shoot a wedding, then they need to make sure that they have a flight for me and my assistant, a room for me and my assistant to stay. My assistant when I travel is usually my wife, so it's always one room for them. If you don't have a wife or you can't sleep with somebody else, or you're not comfortable with that, then you need a separate room for that. And then whether it's a rental car, cab fare, Ubers, or shuttles that they provide for you, that's my minimum. That's my simple way to do it, right? So we have our wedding rate and we have our travel rate. We combine those two to get our rates together. How I do this in my contract, though, is that I always have my photography rate, and then I add that they'll be taking care of X, Y, and Z for my travel rate. And I give my couples an option. For travel, they can either book the stuff for me, where they go and they look for the best price flights for them. They can use miles, they can use whatever. They can book my car, they can book my room, they can do all that. Or I book everything, or I price everything out and send it to them and book it myself. And they just pay me directly for that. They always have to pay before the actual travel date happens, so that way I'm not out any money, anything weird happens. And then the other option is to do a cap or a max. So for instance, max per day would be like $100 per day for a car. So if I want something a little bit better of a car, they just have to pay me the $100. Or $250 a night for a room, or $500 for the flight, and then you charge them that directly. They pay you anything that goes over that, you take care of yourself. It's good if you're one of those people that likes really hoity-toity stuff, or the best of best. And maybe you don't trust what they're gonna get for you, so you do that and you have a max. The bad thing with that is if you do go over, then you're paying for that over pocket. But also if you decide you wanna stay longer, or you decide that you wanna leave a little bit earlier and make a vacation out of it, then you can do that, and the max is already paid for. And then also if you find something on the cheaper route, then you actually make a little bit of money, and you can put that towards your vacation. So you have your wedding. So of course everything I just said was for the photographer that has established brand that people are paying to travel, right? So 30% of my weddings every year, I get to travel and I get to go all over the world and shoot amazing weddings to help my portfolio, to help my clients, and really to help me and use photography to go out and just feel amazing and get out there. But what if you're not there yet? What if you're still building your travel photography side of things where you want to travel more? Well, one thing that I do every year, and I still do to this year, is a really good time to kind of... So one thing that I still do that I've always done is, and that you guys should do and adopt, is once a year, I put out a post. And the post basically says, hey guys, I want to travel more. If you can get married in a place that I've never been to before, I will give you my top package as a gift, and all you have to do is get me there. Get me there, place to stay, kind of the travel stuff we talked about before. As long as they take care of that, I will spend a day shooting their amazing wedding, putting an album together, and making it awesome for them. Really, it's a $3,500 savings for them. What this does for my couple is that not only they may save a little bit of money getting a professional photographer there, but it gets me to travel without me having to give everything away for free. So really, I just have to spend a day, and I get to spend a day because I still love photography, shooting this amazing epic wedding, pushing it out, making some new contacts, visiting a new area, but also it gives me a chance to have a little paid vacation built into it. And usually what happens is they pay for 2 or 3 nights for me to stay there, the flight there and back, any travel accommodations that I may need while I'm there. Anything over that, I have to take care of, built into my contract. So if I stay there for 7 days, then I pay for the other 4 days. Sometimes with these all-inclusive resorts, a lot of the 3 days already paid. To add an additional day per person is only like 50, 60 bucks. So I get to just pay for $110 for me and my wife to stay each extra day. $400 for 4 extra days to stay in paradise is sometimes amazing and very worthwhile. You don't have to do it for free. You can do a discount, you can do something, but if your goal is to travel and get out there, I highly recommend using your photography to pay your way through. You know somebody that's going to Hawaii that's getting married and they don't have a photographer, why not talk to them and say, hey, I'm happy to do this for this. It's never free, it's a gift to them. Remember that, you're giving them a gift as long as they give you a gift and take you along with them. Use photography to your advantage, and this way you'll be able to travel more. And one more thing I want to talk about real quick is something we call a per diem. And this is something I haven't mentioned before because not everybody knows what it is and how to use it. The simplest way to describe what a per diem is, it's any money per day that you would not be spending extra if you were at home. For instance, I'm traveling right now, and when you travel, you're not gonna have all the amenities of a refrigerator at home, or maybe your Costco card or whatever where you have at home already. So every time you go to eat, you're gonna be spending a little bit extra money for things. Maybe you have to buy floss, maybe you have to buy extra toothpaste. Everything's just a little bit extra. So what a per diem is that you include this in your contract per day, per person in your party. It can be 25, it can be 50, mine personally is 50. So if you have me shooting an event for 3 days, and there's 2 of us, then I charge an extra $50 per person for 3 days each day, and that gives me a little extra money to cover things that I normally wouldn't have to buy if I was shooting in my hometown or my city or where I live normally. It's called a per diem. Highly recommend adding that to every single contract you do that's not at home or anywhere you have to travel or fly to. It's an extra 150 bucks that I would charge for myself for 3 days, and that covers a lot of extra stuff that's not out of pocket. So remember, even though we're traveling, we're losing time and we're losing money, right? So it's amazing to travel and it's great to travel, but you're taking time sometimes away from your family. around from other client work, and really you're losing sleep, you're losing extra time. So it's exciting and it's great and it's fun, but we also have to think of our business side of it. So if you spend more time traveling, you have to spend more time on getting the stuff to edit elsewhere, or how are you going to back up to home, or how are you going to send things away? Do you have to buy extra internet for your laptop? So it's all that extra stuff that you have to think about. So even though traveling is awesome and amazing, make sure that it takes care of you. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it for the long haul. I want to do it for the long haul. Every year my goal is to shoot more and travel more. Make sure that happens. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm going to spend the rest of my day by the pool. We're going to go eat at Monkey Pod, where ocean's right back there. Not sure what we're going to do. We're just going to hang out and relax the rest of the day. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading. Obviously, I've been on vacation, but I'm still thinking about you guys. Please keep sending me all your comments and questions via email. Comment below if there's any videos or anything that you're having questions about that I can handle. Check out Hatch Lab, read the description, learn a little about me. If you're new to here, please subscribe. Photographer, entrepreneur, dad, lifestyle, that's what I do. And if this video helped you in any way, give me a thumbs up. It'll really help the channel. Let's have a dialogue. And thank you guys so much for hanging with me. And I will talk to you later. Aloha.